are full in Beijing right now. As I speak now, my words, the ones ministering here, their words are still materializing globally. Beijing today in the news is very bad. It's very bad right now, Beijing. All the hospital beds are full. People are lying in the corridors now in Beijing, China right now. And they say because of the relaxing of the restrictions on COVID, they estimate that, I don't know, in how many months they're going to lose 1 million people. Think about 1 million people. So we need to understand that if this was a little glimpse of a window the Lord was using to show you how horrific the tribulation is, then we rather catch the moment. Catch the moment, prepare. Hallelujah. Because he's saying very clearly here that to keep you from, since you have endured patiently, been faithful to me, I will also keep you from the hour of trial. So that is true. He is keeping you from a time, a dispensation. And I'm going to define that dispensation, the dispensation of wrath, because the bees have covered me. I'm covered by bees. I have called down the greatest locust ever on your screen, as you see. The greatest locust ever hit the earth. I have called down to the earth. Look at that. I have called down the greatest locust ever. Bigger and better. I don't know whether that's right at all to say. Now, whole world. This is tremendous. That hour of trial. That trial, because is it God trying to saying that he will rescue you from Satan? He's saying he's going to rescue you from a time, a dispensation, a moment. That's important in this conversation. So I'm going to lay forth to you here what we saw already on November 1, the year 2006. When now, Lilongwe, can I give you a cup of Blanta, a cup of coffee will do? A cup of coffee. Get me a cup of coffee, please. This very senior Archbishop here, oh, such a treasure. Yeah, from Malawi. I cried for Malawi very much, very, very much. Because of the falsehood in the church there. I cried very much, and I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so we're going to make a roadmap into that country. Yes, I will simply come as the cheapest. I will do big meetings there, and the Lord will heal a lot of people, draw their hearts now to himself, free of charge. Free of charge always. Free of charge. Jesus paid it all, right? Yes, so we need to focus on this verse 10 today before I pull out the timeline into the eternal state. We need just to focus on this for a moment. Because this is the door that he said he has opened for this church. He has opened for them a door. And now we are realizing that not only was it a door for evangelism and to serve well, but also we are realizing that when you have served well and finally use that door so well, and when that comes to an end, then that door is open up here. No. Let me explain to you this. I think let me just put it into context for you to understand. Age when we should serve before the night comes. Then look, the arrow goes up. Revelation chapter 4 we read yesterday here. Verse 1. Come up here. Are we together? And you're going to look for a stool or borrow a stool, right? For him. Thank you so much, Senior Sergeant. It's good to see you, right? Very powerful, Pastor Kawa. He's a very, very mighty. We appreciate so much your service. Awesome service. Thank you so much. And so, can I walk on this again? Because he's saying, I think that's John chapter 9, verse 4. Let me see if it is. Hallelujah. And I know that your stay here is limited. I will soon start shedding tears as you have gone. This is such a golden moment. You left your palatial homes to be here. How could you do that? Who am I? Please don't do that. And then you'll go to your, in Swahili they say kifahari, your sophisticated nations. And yet when we're here, we could talk about Jesus and He's coming. Hallelujah. He said, let me see if it's John chapter 9:4. Then I'll give it to you. Yes, it is. It is. He says, as long as it is day, we must do the work of Him who sent me. Night is coming, and the Lord has given you a little glimpse into the window to see how night looks like. And will be bad. Night is coming, when it will not be possible to work. This is powerful. He's talking about Revelation 2 and 3. Again, I read it here. He says, as long as it is day, we must do the works of Him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. Did you understand now? That's why we are focusing on the instruction, the rebuke that Jesus is giving the church. And oh boy, that rebuke is reaching the marrow of this church also. Because she's suffering the same maladies, right? Complacency, idolizing wealth, modernism, lukewarmness, lack of service, worshipping while the heart is elsewhere, coming to church to see what can I get for my personal benefit, instead of worshiping Him for who He is, abandoning the cross, wanting something lighter, not wanting the blood, saying it's too bloody. That's being some kind of undercover Christians, whereby if you follow them in their offices, they don't want to stand up and say they are born again. No, 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 no. She doesn't want her boss to know she's Christian. She fears might throw her out. Because these people are virtually atheists. And there is a flirting going on there. So she does not want to interfere with that, because if she becomes harsh, the boss will say, okay, you get out of here. A little trial like this, they don't like Jesus anymore. So this generation shares so much in common with the maladies, the pain that you see is going through the heart of the Lord on the condition of the 7 churches. And there's a general decay, degeneration of the church. And so I simply picked upon the church that should have been transmitted into this age, the Rapture Church, that Jesus modeled around the church in Philadelphia. I simply picked on that. He has opened a door for her. And then I asked, if we look around, do we see that church? Was it the evangelical church or which one? Because I said 2 of them are transmitted to the end. Philadelphia is transmitted into the rapture. The Lord showed me rolling, gnashing teeth. She has failed to enter the rapture. Aye. This is serious. And so he's saying that there are terrible times coming, and we are in Revelation 2 and 3 to prepare the church now. And this is when day is still on. And he's saying, as long as it is day, we must do the works of Him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. There we are. When the rapture takes place, night will have fallen. A little glimpse has been given you. The corona, the COVID, the earthquakes, the crashing of neutron stars and shaking the universe, terror. I've been there already. The Lord put me there. We feared that some of the planets that were struck, and one of them actually sharp, when it broke, it became sharp, we feared would impact the earth. There was terror. And I don't know why it looked more like a sunset situation. Like almost a sunset kind of rays, the sun like that. But the planets were, there was a fear they would hit the earth. And bye-bye human race. But there is evidence of that. I stood in India, in Mumbai, And I gave the prophecy of the collision of neutron stars. I gave details, sharpest details, 13 years before, until NASA of USA had to subscribe on our YouTube, my Lord. My Lord. My Lord. They subscribed. They were shocked that somebody could know what is going to happen 130 million light years away. Well, 30 million light years away in terms of our perception, imperceptibility, to bring it into our perception on this earth. You would have to multiply 130 million times 9.84 trillion to get the number of kilometers away. Please, is it perceptible? You see, you cannot understand it in this life, right? But for anybody to get and know 13 years earlier what is going to happen up there, where even the scientists cannot bring shuttles or whatever up there. And remember, on the journey, the Lord always tells me, look, here the gravity is too high now. There are some of the places we reach whereby now the sound is like, as though there is a metal. When He took me to the end of the universe now, there are galaxies that are not yet discovered, a lot of them on the other side, in trillions. But when we reach the end of the universe, like a wall like this, as if it's a metal. So even the sound is whistling. That kind of sound. But the shock of it is that one may know events to happen 130 million times 9.84 trillion in brackets equals to what? Kilometers up there to the greatest detail. Even how the universe would wobble, even the blue flames. How can you talk about blue flames? Even how the stars would chase one another, chasing with light, white light. And then the debris, the red flames also. How? Until NASA subscribed into our YouTube. Please, 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 please. Look what he shook the entire universe and wobbled. Do you know what wobbling is? Let me demonstrate to you what wobbling is. The trillions of galaxies with trillions of planets loaded on them, some of them bigger than our sun by 600 billion times. Look, wobbling meaning loaded and like almost falling. And then this way, like this, almost going down. What amount of force is that? You don't want to be in the coming age, the dispensation of the wrath, which we're going to look at. I'm also going to open it up. When He said the hour of trial, I'm going to open it up for you, that you may know, oh, I don't want to be there. And prepare now and now. Hallelujah. Oh yes, this is serious. And then recently I prophesied another. And this one now the Lord brings me quickly to open the microscopes, the telescopes rather, of this, and goes back, and I go back. Now I understood better. It looks more it was because they were tracking the prophecies on the tube, seeing it one before another. Including the size, that one will be 3/4 of the another. This is serious. And so that coming to open the telescope until they see, and then going back, I think it was now tracking and saying, oh look, he has prophesied another. Let's find it. Let's catch it. Hallelujah. But the coming age, the dispensation of the wrath, is unbearable. That's all I'm saying. And so there is every reason to prepare now, that you may not have to be beheaded to worship Jesus. Please. Right now you can worship Him well and enter glory. And we live in a generation that has zero tolerance to pain. Let me put it better. That cannot persevere, cannot suffer for the gospel. Or you should. They will leave that and even go to yoga. They will go to something else. They cannot live a sacrificial life. And so again, We are back to Revelation chapter 3. Verse 10 is our base there. So what am I trying to present to you here? I'm stepwise presenting to you the fact that the church will not enter the tribulation. That's all I'm trying to say. So therefore, let's prepare, right? You are not supposed to enter there, except you fool around, right? That's all I'm trying to say. Capture the moment. Because he's saying here again, verse 10, Revelation 3, since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. Even that testing, I'll open it up for you if we get time today. But the hour of trial, I'll open that also today here. But the key thing there is to keep you from, to remove you from it. That's where I'm beginning from. That you may understand that all this we are doing right now here is God's rescue mission. To remove his people from war theater. Because he has given you a little glimpse of coronavirus where I'm talking about the whole earth. This is powerful because it talks about coming the whole earth to all the inhabitants of the earth. Can you focus on me a moment? He's saying here that would come to test, come into the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. Did he say come into Philadelphia? Are we now together? Matthew 24:14, right? As I come back again here. Remember we are anchored on Revelation chapter 3, right? Is somebody walking with me? Matthew 24:14. Mateo 24:14, por favor. It says the following. Matthew 24:14, it says, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached to the whole world as a testimony to all the nations, then the end will come. So they have heard. That's why when the hour of trial comes, nobody will be spared. No one will be spared. You have heard. The lockdown was global. It was global shutdown. Universities were closed. Because they used to say their professors, they're too busy for Christ. They were closed. Aircraft were parked. Shopping malls were locked. And keys taken home. Please. And then back to Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. That's where we are at.